and welcome back to GT Retro World. Well, today on the bench we have something a little bit unusual, and it's from the guys over at Retekess, and it's basically a multi-band receiver or shortwave receiver. As you can see, it's a bit unusual. It actually reminds me of a radio they had when I was a kid, and it was the East-Tronic multi-band radio. I don't know if you remember them guys. They were a very basic set. They were only cheap at the time, and they covered like CB band, a bit of shortwave, TV and the likes of it. If I can find an image I'll put it on there, but anyway that's long gone that. But when I seen this it reminded me of a similar type of thing, but obviously for this era I suppose. But have a look at that, jeez, what a monster, eh? Right, okay, we'll have a little look into this thing, see what it's all about, eh? Look at it, wow. Right, okay, before we start having a look at this, we'll have a look what comes in the box. So obviously, that's the box, you can see, that's the radio. We have another little box here, small one. Let's have a look what's in here. Move that to one side. A little carry strap there, let's have a look at this thing. So I guess that goes over the top of these two on the top of here. Yeah, it will do. Yeah, it's fairly decent. Yeah, it's going to do the job, that. So that's a carry strap for the top. USB-C to USB-A. There we go. Looks fairly decent quality. What's in here? Alright, that's a little brush. And a small screwdriver, Phillips by the looks of it, and that's probably for the battery compartment. But this has got a fixed battery in this second version, but we might have a look in anyway. So that's that. Next we've got the little T-bar ferrite antenna. This is probably for long wave. Let's have a look at the quality of this. Oh, that feels nice. Have a little look, turn that round. External antenna, so that'll go on the top of here, and that'll spin more like so. Very nice. Right, so there we go, that's that antenna. Right, manuals, there's two manuals. We have this manual which is for the radio, and an app manual which is for the app that you use off your phone obviously. So we'll have a look at that in a minute. Right, so we'll have a little flick through here, the specs and whatnot. So there's contents. This is quite in-depth, to be honest. There's quite a lot in here. So there's a brief description of its features. That's what comes with it. Yeah, there's quite a lot in here, like. There's a bit to go through. Dear God, yeah. There's a frequency range there by the looks of it. It is quite wide, this thing, like, isn't it? Jesus. Yeah, it goes on and on. EQs. Is there anything for more oh, there's a main radio specification there, look. As you can see, it covers quite a lot. There's a lot to go through in this, so we'll crack on. Right, okay, so that's the manual. Like I say, this is the app manual or instructions to get it up and running. And there's the QR codes there for Apple iOS or Android, so it looks fairly simple. Right, okay, first let's peel these stickers off the display. Oh dear, that sounded nice, didn't it? Or did it? That's better. Right, first off we'll have a little look at the around the radio. So on the top we have the bar, which obviously I just slotted in there not long ago. We'll take that out. Right, we have an on and off switch there for the external loop antenna. As you can see there, just like a little on and off button there, or switch should I say. We have an SMA socket there if you want to put another antenna in there, say something like, I don't know, for instance, we'll go with something like this because it's small, I can get it in the frame. Obviously you want something a bit bigger, but I'm just demonstrating there what goes in there. And there you go. And that's ideal for like VHF, UHF. So we'll take that back out. So that's the top. We've got a normal telescopic antenna there, as you can see there, guys. It's quite large. 2 carrying handles there, or should I say loops there, basically to fasten the strap to. Right, before we go into detail with this thing, let's have a look around it. Now, look at the size of this thing. It's not big, but it's chunky. You know, it's got like a very retro feel to it. It almost reminds me of my old Eastwood that I had back in the 80s, which was a, like I say, it was a very basic radio on its day. But this is like, it reminds me of something old-fashioned but futuristic at the same time. It's bizarre. Anyway, it's like a very, like an army type green colour, to be honest, and the side of it is also green, but it's a bit more matte on the rear. I actually like the look of it. I mean, a few people say they don't like the chrome and stuff, but I think it gives it a bit of a retro type look, and you know me, I'm all about retro. So I like it anyway. It feels substantial. It's heavy. I think it's just over 1 kilo. Well, it's bang on 1 kilo, I think, near enough. And the size is 190mm, or just over 7 inches, by 170 wide, 6.69 I think it is, so inches. So that's, like I say, it's a fairly decent sized lump. It's got a carry handle on the back there, as you can see, which is quite nice. A little pull out stand here. There we go, and that seems to work quite well. It apparently sports a 3-inch speaker, which is a dual stereo speaker. I might add, it sounds fantastic, this thing. We'll go around the rear, and you have like basically it's like they call it super bass, but it's like a sub. I think it's probably, I don't think it's an active speaker on the back of there. I think it's just ported from the front one, to be honest, by the looks of it. Yeah, I think so. But it really sounds dynamic, you know, it sounds really good. So overall, the build quality feels good. Oh, I like the rubber feet as well. I tell you another nice thing I like about the feet as well. If you look at the way they're angled on this bit here, the rubber actually goes right round as well, which is quite nice. So when it's actually stood like on here, it still feels quite stable, you know. Yeah. So there we go. There's a little look at it anyway. So what we'll do next, we'll go through a few bits of the specs, won't we? Because that's what we need to do. That's what it's all about, isn't it? This look round anyway. Yeah, I wasn't going to bore you with some of the specs, but there you go. It's nothing anyway. So it'll receive 522 to 1710 kilohertz. Long wave 153 to 522 kilohertz. The FM broadcasting band, which is 87.5 to 108 megahertz. Short wave is basically 2.3 to 30 megahertz. Air band 18 to 138 megahertz. Oh, it's very out one. Yeah. That's weird. Anyway, CB, it reckons 25 to 28 megahertz. Now, the CB band it only covers AM, which is a bit strange. So you've got to use the VHF, which is 20 to 250 megahertz. So that'll do it. Narrow FM. So you're okay for listening to like European type of CB radio, if that's what you're into. UHF 250 to 999 megahertz. And you've got, obviously, your weather band, which is over in Europe and the UK. We don't get, obviously, for the States, that's how I do. It can store 1600 memories. I think it's 200 for each band. So it's like 1600 in total of memory store. It'll also play back MP3, this, which is with WAV, FLAC, and I think there's a few other formats as well. Memory card wise, it'll take up to 256 gigabytes. The internal battery of this is a 3600 milliamp hour battery at 3.7 volts, as far as I'm aware. I can see my face there, look. Yeah, you don't want to be seeing that too much, do you? So yeah, that's about the size of the specifications of this thing. So we'll go through in a bit. There's a bit more depth of the specs, so we'll go through it anyway, because it's going to be quite a long one, this, isn't it? And then I forgot to mention, this also does Bluetooth, obviously, for connecting the app, and also connecting, maybe you want to play audio through it from your phone or whatever device. Okay, let's fire this up. So button, we'll take it out of sleep. Right, we're in airband straight away, because that's where I was earlier on. So what I'm going to do first, to keep these displays lit, you click on the time set, which will basically keep that display this side on permanently. You can see the little bulb in the corner there with the number 1 in it, and for this to stay alive, because if you watch it last, it'll pop off in a second. There we go. So this one, hit alarm button, and that again, can you see that number 2? That's just popped up there. I'll bring that a bit closer there. You can see those 2 there, and that will keep everything on now. The only thing that will nip off is probably the backlight for the buttons, which I'm not bothered about there at the moment. But you can actually leave those on full as well. So first things first is basically we'll go through a few of these buttons. So the first button along here, we have play pause. That's for playback of audio from an SD card, which is on the side of here. You see there, guys? So you can play back audio from there, also from Bluetooth, no doubt, as well. And obviously your squelch, which we can change from here. There we go, that's off. And that's back on. Right, next button we have the band button, and that'll tap between FM, medium wave and long wave and short wave. You can see there, guys, there we go, short wave. It's showing into LSB there, probably 27 megs, because that's where I was playing with. Medium wave, long wave, back to FM. Sub band is like a band switch, so it'll go between your bands, as you can see there, guys. Okay, right. UHF, VHF, that basically takes you between VHF, UHF, airband, CB and weather band. There's UHF, that's airband obviously. CBAM, but you can't change your mode. You can see, you just change the bandwidth. Oh, let's go back to where we are again. Right, it's on a second. That's airband. So yeah, so CBAM, weather band, you can see there, guys. VHF, UHF, back to airband. Now, to input a frequency, say if we want to go to 2 meter diameter band, so you click on enter button. I don't know why you've got to press enter first, but you do. So we'll do 145.500 and enter again. And that takes us there. So that's pretty straightforward. Obviously it's too early in the day for that. So next we have the demod button. So we'll go back to shortwave. Right, this is basically a mode button. So we're on low sideband at the moment. So if you just basically, hang on 1 second. Obviously that's off. If you just a short press is going to alter the bandwidth. So we'll go up to 4. So hold the button in, and that'll flash the D mod, which is basically mode. Oh, 1 second. Just got to catch it just right. Hold the button in. AM. USB. And there we go. And just flash and stop. And there we go. So what we'll do, we'll enter 14.200 will do, won't it? Near enough. Enter that. So there's the 20 meter band. We're in USB. Again, if you wanted to change that to lower sideband, which you wouldn't, probably not, you basically hold that button in, and that'll change the mode. AM. So you got AM, up sideband and lower sideband. It takes a bit of a time for it to change between AM and SSB, but obviously that's fine. Tuning on this as well. This had a bit of a problem apparently, where it cut out quite a bit when you manually tuning. As you can see, that isn't too bad. Let's pull that antenna up a bit. The band's a bit flat at the moment, to be honest. But as you can see, it's not too bad that. Now, it's got a little bit of a break in between your switch. But the fine is okay, to be honest. It's not too bad. Getting a bit of noise in here, to be honest. There's a lot of appliances on in here. So I'll get an external antenna rigged up to this, and I'll do a few samples later on in the video. Right, next we have attenuation. So we've got -20 and -10. So it's basically local, as you can see there, guys, and DX, and that's about it really. So here, next we have mode, and this is the mode for Bluetooth when you want to connect, say, your phone or a speaker, and that'll pop up there, and that's your Bluetooth, and that's ready to pair there as we speak. I nearly forgot there about the antenna selector, so which is here. That's a loop antenna internally. That's external, which is from the top of here, and that is DX. Yeah. Let me just go through a bit of detail on the top of here. I think I've shown you on the top of here, but on the back rear of here, that's, by the way, that's TRS on the front. So it's like a stereo jack, which is strange. On the rear, we have an external antenna, which is a mono TS jack, or 3.5, whatever you want to call it. And what I bought for this, let me just turn that down a bit so it doesn't annoy you. I bought this just recently, and that basically is a mono 3.5 jack to SO239. So straight in the back of here, like so. It just to say works as well. It's a bit finicky like, but it works anyway. All right, I think what we'll do while we're on the back of here anyway, we'll go through this little antenna tuner. So for medium wave, shortwave 1 and shortwave 2, we have a little tuner which is on the side of here. It's not really very effective, but it's there anyway. You can have a mess about with it. Like I say, these are just meant to be a bit of fun, aren't they? So time set as it sounds, basically. That's for setting the time on the radio and the date, etc. Also for keeping this display on, as you can see there. We showed you that earlier on. I didn't actually set the time with that. I actually used the app, and there's a button in the app basically called time service, and as soon as you flick that button, it transmits the time from your phone's time and also the date, month and year. So there's nothing else to do, and it's instant. It was amazing, to be honest. I'd like to show you it again, but obviously it's done what it needs to do. I mean, I could maybe just put the time wrong on this, but anyway, take my word for it, it works. Right, obviously this is an alarm button, and that's what it as it sounds. Also, it keeps the display on, as you can see in that corner, which I mentioned beforehand. The display button here is for this display here, and it will keep it in signal meter mode, clock mode, as you can see, or the data basically from your Bluetooth. That's if you're connected, like, or even the data from your card, your TF or SD card, whatever you want to call it. The quoting TF here, but anyway, SD card works fine with it. So as you can see, that's that button. Obviously, your sleep button puts it into sleep or powers it down. It doesn't actually turn off this thing, to be honest. But anyway, that's the power button or sleep button, whatever you want to call it. Volume button, up, down. So that's pretty straightforward. We have a scan ATS button, which will basically scan, and it'll also input what it finds into a memory. I'm still finding my way with that, but yeah, it seems quite useful, but you've got to be careful, because if you hold it in too long, it'll reset all your memories, which is a bit of a pain in the backside. There, it's done one there. Can you see that one? There's one gone into channel 1. You see the preset light flashing there. There's another one. Okay.
Yes, lovely man, Now Rogers. His book is fascinating. For 3 points,
we have a set button, which is here.
This week's top 3 16 years ago.
All right, and I wasn't aware it had a temperature in here as well, so it's 22.9. I gather that's a temperature. Right, so we're going to hold that down. Here we have the settings menu. There's menus. You can change the screen color, gains on antennas, it goes on. It's quite complex, to be honest. Or I should have said it's going to take me forever to go through that lot. So that's basically your menus in there. If you want to save the station manually, so all that in for 2 seconds. If you want it in channel 4, hit it again, and that's in there now. We should be straight to that. Let's have a look. So that's 1. We'll go back to 4, see if it's stayed. There we go. Yeah, so that's entered. So that's pretty much straightforward to manually enter a frequency as a preset channel. Turn it off before I get into trouble. We have the step or VFO sort of knob here, or dial if you want to call it like that. Feels okay to me. This is more fine. Can you see there, guys? So basically, your coarse and your fine, if you want to call it that. Also, if you hold that in, you can change the step value. 100, 50, 10. Again, it's different for each band, or, you know, if it was on VHF or airband, it's going to be different, but you can alter them anyway. Obviously, this is for direct input. So, for instance, if we want, I don't know, we'll go with TFM. It's easy, isn't it? 96.60. I say TFM, I don't think it's TFM now, is it? And enter again, and that'll get us on there. And that's right, we won't have to leave that on for long, I'm going to get into trouble again. So that's a look around the front. Again, I've shown you a little bit what this can do. It's absolutely crazy. Like I say, most of these buttons do more than 2 or 3 or 4 things, so there's a lot to take in. Again, this video could be 2 hours long if I went crazy over it. So we'll go to the side. So on here we have the antenna tuning wheel, which is here, which works off there, which I've already shown you. We have this button here. The unlock, everything is unlocked obviously on the front. The RS lock will lock this rotation knob here, whatever you want to call it. They call it rotation knob. Basically it's your frequency shift. You can see we're doing nothing there. See? So we put that back up, we're moving again. Yeah. And down is full lock. That'll lock the whole radio off. Buttons a lot. See? We're all locked. So it's probably quite handy at times. At the top we have a aux audio input, so we can utilise that lovely sounding speaker. And I might add, it does sound great, that, by the way. I don't do too much in here because, like I say, it's copyright. I don't want to mess about with that. Headphone jack underneath there, TFSD card underneath here for playback of MP3s. At the bottom we have a USB-C for charging the radio, and also for a speaker, also connected to a computer. So it claims. Not that we've tried that yet either. So yeah, there's a lot to go on, isn't there, to be honest. What I'm going to have a little look now, I'm just going to have a little peek at this battery, see what's going on in here. Let's see if it's, have you seen the size of this thing here? Look at this. Yeah, I'm going to use what they've supplied. Oh dear. Oh, we've got it. Hopefully that screw's captive behind there. No, it's not. Alright, okay, there's the battery anyway. So we have, let me lift my glasses up there and have a little look. Right, 3.7 volt, which they say, and a 3600 milliamp hour battery. You can see where it originally had the batteries in there, and they've obviously cut that away to get that in there by the looks of it. I mean, they're claiming this is a safer alternative. It probably is, really, in its own way. But anyway, that's that. We'll get this back together. Look around the rear here if you want to have a little look, a bit more of a detailed look of it. That's the carry handle, which I've explained. And there's the model. Yeah. It feels good. I like it. Right, I think we've been through enough of this at the moment for now, because the video is actually going to run crazy over time. So what I'm going to do next, I'm going to connect it up to a bigger antenna and also try this on the top as well. And we'll go through a few samples So that'll give me a bit more. I don't want to bore you too long, see, because you'll be there forever with this thing. But yeah, what we'll do some sample audio throughout the frequencies, try and get some airband, some ham HF stuff, maybe some 2 meter gear, maybe a bit of ship to shore, a bit of CB. See what we can find anyway. We'll go from there. Bit weak today. I'm just using a vertical antenna here at the moment. Actually, it's not really resonant for here, but it'll do something. You can see there's a bit of a gap between there, but it's quite quick.
People knew where I worked, people knew what I moved so far behind, and on top of that, having the responsibility of a child.
They're each given £8.86 a week. The government's current
authorities telling people not to go back to their homes now. This is a gradual withdrawal of Israeli forces from the south of the country. And people here are telling us that they haven't been defeated in this conflict despite the wide
southern border as part of the deal. Let's talk to Jim Muir, a former BBC Middle East correspondent who lives in Beirut. Jim, morning to you.
Morning, Naga.
Morning. Good to talk to you. How's the ceasefire been received?
Everybody I know is delighted. Of course, obviously people were initially a bit sceptical. They weren't sure it would actually happen.
And now back to more Life Matters with Brian Johnston. Welcome back to Life Matters. We're talking about natural law that's the predicate for the right time.
Abu Dhabi Büyükelçisi Can Yemin de stand alanını ziyaret etti. Canlı serginin Çin'de medya sektörünün yapay zeka...
What a beautiful tone that's got. Call me Weaver, I love that type of music. Very nice.
Nos investissements dans la RD.
Tangshan Monopie Céramique investit plus de 10.
Kövessék figyelemmel kínai orvoslás nevű csoportunkat a Facebookon.
15% of total power consumption in Thailand. The Thai government has also decided to raise the non-hydro renewable target from 20% to 30% by 2036.
2036.
Regarding the capacity for renewable energy generation, Thailand solar energy accounts for about 3,300 megawatts, which has more than doubled since 2014.
Should think so.
Halfway towards its 2036 solar targets of 6,000 megawatts. Notably, Thailand's solar capacity accounts for more than 60% of the total installed capacity in the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or ASEAN.
For them, and they'll need to bounce back, of course, after getting beat in the young boys game. So forward to it. I don't think this is a special Juve team. They've got horrendous injury problem, as Dan's just alluded to. I spoke to a couple of
place on Sunday to judge that, but in terms of the Champions League, they're absolutely where they want to be.
So Liverpool against Real Madrid, 8 o'clock kickoff. Plenty more to come from Anfield before kickoff. There are two
beautiful audio that for a medium wave.
Both going the way of the home sides at the moment.
AM and FM on this really excels for some weird reason.
Girona by a goal to nil. Back to the 8 o'clock kickoffs at Villa Park. Aston Villa
nice.
against Juventus. Unai Emery's side without a win in their last
A bit of
6
noise reduction
across
wouldn't
all
go amiss, like, but yeah, it's alright.
Mark, what a
Not
night
bad at
this
all.
promises to be.
A lot of teams have wised up to Villa. Villa are smart from set plays, are smart tactically. And I think a lot of teams now are doing their homework. They're punishing Villa on their counter-attack like Villa were doing to everybody a little while ago. So
Nice. Beautiful FM, that. Very nice.
Utah. His career has spanned 6 decades, notched up 33 gold records, sold more than 100 million albums. He's also had to reinvent himself repeatedly, tackle debilitating social anxiety, and watch as close friends have lost their way under the pressures of celebrity. In the 1990s, Donny Osmond starred as a lead in over 2,000 performances of Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. The hit Andrew Lloyd Webber and Tim Rice musical.
I don't know if you're getting that audio, guys, but
in the early
it sounds
1970s.
absolutely brilliant.
Now it's back.
Very nice.
So is Donny.
Information, you are to anchor on arrival, anchor on arrival. You can choose a position in Echo or Whiskey Anchorage. When you're in position, call Team VTS before you drop your anchor. Over. Would recommend you come outside of the VTS area. Over. No need to contact the pilot, sir. No need to contact. Question, who is your local agent? Over. Yeah, that's all copied, sir, many times. Yeah, so if you just proceed to Whiskey Anchorage and call again before you let go your anchor. Ensemble Team VTS, good evening, Drew. Ensemble Team VTS, that's all copied, Drew. Yourself and Alex on board, 6 decimal 6, in fatigue got number 6. I'll have you starboard side 2, stern line on $50. Traffic information, container ship 4 still alongside with a crane over her bow, so request you remain outside the channel. I'll give you a call.
We're on the northeast net here. It's every Wednesday. It's 7:30. That's Andy over in Harrogate. He's a fair distance away from me, like. Probably 40, 50 miles as the crow flies, maybe. I'll have to work it out.
Yeah, 2608, Andy.
2608, is that you?
It was. How are you tonight, Andy?
I'm fine, Andy. Alpha Bravo 2608. Yeah, got you in the log. It's quiet, but I've got you, over.
Yeah, roger that, mate. Well, I'm having difficulties. We've got a lot of static on tonight, so I can barely hear you, so thanks for the contact, mate.
You know, I haven't got any static, but I can hardly hear you. It's just one of those things, actually. It's very quiet at my end, but not a lot of signals coming off you tonight, Andy, over.
Roger that, mate. I've got 0 signal off yourself tonight, mate.
Okay, I've put a bit of strength on, and that's made things a little bit better. Thank you. No signal off me either. All right then, Andy. That's good to hear you anyway. And there is somebody else calling as well, so if you don't mind, Andy, I'll just go back to them. Who else was it? Over. Bravo Mike 135, Andy. Right, okay, a few stations coming in now. Bravo Mike 135. Good evening, Rob. Over. All right, Andy, I'm out mobile tonight, there. Well, you're doing all right.
Hey, it's Rob.
Whereabouts are you mobile?
Black Mamba.
I'm over on Blakey Ridge. Blakey Moor. Blakey Moor.
Oh, I thought we were getting a bigger signal than that off him.
As far as I'm aware, am I right, yeah? Yeah, you're right, between Castleton and Kirby Moorside. All right, okay. Well, if Al comes on, you'll certainly hear him. He goes to the north side, and he does mention the Blakey Road. So, anyway, if he's on, we'll blow your windows out, and you'll blow his out. You might already have done so. So, anyway, Rob, got you no problem at all, have I? Yeah, thanks for that, Andy. Yeah, I'm only on the rig power. 45 watts there. But I've got about 1,020 feet high, so I've certainly got the altitude tonight. You certainly have. You're not quite as high as me down there. I'm at 1,350, over. Wow. Well, yeah, well, it's certainly, I mean, you're booming over to me, but you always go anyway. Oh, well, I'm hidden by it. I mean, it's like a volcano. It's got a hole in the middle, a caldera. And I live in the caldera, which means there's things in the way, even though I'm high up. So that's a disadvantage of it, Rob. Okay, yep, there's still somebody else trying to get in as well as yourself. So I'm just going to find out who's on. Who else was calling into the northeast now? 268-281 listening to the northeast now. Go ahead. Good evening from Thornaby. Good evening from Thornaby. That will be Delta Echo Kilo 270. Yes, good evening there, over. Alright, Andy. A lot of static this end. I can hear you, but it's not good. So
I can't believe how well this little radio is doing, all things considered.
Listen to the match, but I can hear you. I could just hear other Andy. I could just see Rob there on the move, but anybody else, no. Right, okay, so you could hear Andy. Well, I'll try to put you in touch with him soon as I stop getting new entries to the log, Derek. But anyway, good evening to you, and nice to have you along, over. Good to hear you along, mate. Hope you're alright. Certainly am. Alright, good stuff. This is 26 Alpha Tango 281. QRZ to the northeast net.
Did I hear someone on FCCs there? 165, is that around about channel 17? Oh, there's someone there.
Aye.
Was it off all that again?
I was thinking
It's got a bad little squelch as well, this. It's the first time in a long time I've heard anyone around this frequency.
There's Chris Greenstown still on here.
Let's turn that squelch off.
I was modulation's loud, Rob, but your power's gone right down. Yeah, your modulation is clear as a bell. I'm getting about a pound off you, but your modulation spot on, very, very nice and loud.
Loud? What about that?
Whiskey's come back to me.
Someone from Malaga there, just above channel 20-ish.
Okay, we're negative, so there you go. We're going QRT now. Another a very loud, clear station up here, so we're going QRT. Okay?
Hey, Malaga.
Yeah, still copying you. Now you just came back from between 7 and 9, no problem, loud and clear. Yes, no. The only thing I go over here is the microphone that's coming out with the video, and I do believe, I think it's giving out about 50 watts from this radio right now. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the modulation on the radio a little tiny bit high to the maximum. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Rob to the Island Man. Have you noticed any difference on the modulation, over? Cola, Coca-Cola. All right. Okay, Rob, thank you very much. Just put the volume on.
It's fading out a bit.
Right, the other gentleman over there say, Cola, Coca-Cola. Right, come back in. How you doing there? How you doing? Yes, I'm in England, near a little place called Retekess. Okay, I'll tell you what. You go away from the microphone a little tiny bit, or turn the modulation down a little tiny bit, please. Say it again, because you weren't coming through too good there. No. He's over-modulating. You know what we used to say years ago?
He's trying to tell you to turn your modulation down.
He's over-modulating a little tiny bit, and you're giving me a massive signal. Very, very good signal, but the modulation is not very clear, over? Yeah, Manuel, I'm just using the normal years to and me. Okay, the other breaker just saying standing by. Please stand by 1 second. I'll come back to you again. All right, the copy.
Yeah, I'm just using the normal and USB mic.
Right, so you're making the trip okay, all right? So you're making the trip loud and clear, not a problem. Test modulation is what we used to say way back in...
So listen, against the R75. Turn it down.
Not very, very clear, honestly, and I'm not winding you up, okay?
How's that now? Is that any better now?
That is 100%
Loads better. We'll go back to the little TR113.
Yeah, it's just a normal handheld USB hand mic.
Well, that USB hand mic is making the truth absolutely wonderful. The only thing is, when you first came earlier on, it was honestly well over-modulated. Over here right now, out in the south of Spain, as you probably know, and you come out really beautiful. 9 pluses, and the modulation out there right now is 100% loud and clear. Over.
Yeah, just give me now plus the radio file.
Here you go. My personal is Manuel. Over.
Yeah, my personal's Gary.
Okay, Gary, you're coming out beautiful, honestly. You're coming out really beautiful right now. Whereabouts are you?
Well, thank you very much, Manuel.
Tell me, whereabouts are you in the UK? Come back, please, Gary.
Yeah, I'm near a little town called Hartlepool.
Oh, you're near Hartlepool. Yes, okay, I know. Thank you very much. You're coming out really lovely. Always to be
Well, thank you very much, Manuel.
Please, anybody else out there want to say hello?
I'd say hello myself. I'm going to record here for you guys. Anyway, there's a little 11 metre QSO there. And I think it was, did you say it was in Malaga?
When we used to go on the old AM.
A little bit of FM skipper. Very good.
2781.
Anyway guys, there's a little demonstration there, and this is working really well, to be honest. It's doing a great job. Oh, he's disappearing, he's in and out. Yeah. Okay, what do I think of this little radio? Yeah, I quite like it. It's not bad at all. Apart from the soft mute and on the jog shuttle, it's a bit, you know what I mean, you get used to it, to be honest. I've been using it over the last couple of days and it's no problem at all to me. Like, with two others you might find it a bit awkward. But sensitivity wise, this thing has got some good ears on it. Yeah, I just think it's not a bad deal at all, to be honest, especially at the moment. I'll come to that in a minute. Anyway, I want to do another video in the future showing you the app, because the app off the phone is fantastic. It just makes life a lot easier using this. But anyway, getting back to this, the pricing on this at the moment. Today is Black Friday, and at the moment it's $183 US. I don't know how long that's going to last, so don't quote me on that. And also it's £139.99 UK pounds. Now for £139, that is worth every last penny, without a shadow of a doubt. So if you can grab one of them, grab one quick. Like I say, I have no idea how long that's going to last, but yeah, worth every last penny of that. Like I say, I've got a bit more to learn with this thing, and I'll come back and maybe do a few more tests on it in the future, you know, and give it a bit more of a DX workout. But I like it. It's alright. It's got its little quirks, but for that price, worth every last penny. Anyway guys, hopefully this has been of some use to you. Thumbs up for the channel wouldn't go amiss. Even a thumbs down will be okay for me. Both work the same, and it gives me an idea of what you like and what you don't like. Anyway, we'll catch you on the next one guys. Bye for now.